What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd make a pretty quick video today showing everybody how to use the Bimmercode app and code your car out. You do have limitations of how much coding you can do in the car. Differences are, I think there's VO coding and FA coding. I might not have the terminology right, but I know that with the app you can do a lot of the simplistic things. Get rid of the seatbelt ding, the seatbelt warning, the disclaimers in the iDrive. You can actually upgrade to audio, digital sound processor if you have Harman Kardon. You can do it if you don't, but it doesn't really work, so don't try to mess with it there. I think it kind of screws up the audio in that fashion. Get the windows to work, you know, when you open up the door, you can get the comfort access, you get your mirrors to fold. There's a lot of options in there you can change. You can upgrade a ton of things, turn off the active sound if you don't like it. Put a link in the description for the little Bluetooth unit I use, OBD2 port. I used to use a different one. It was a Wi-Fi Bluetooth unit, a connected Wi-Fi. You had to put the phone in airplane mode, so you didn't get any interruptions. You can actually still do that, so you don't get a phone call or something that interrupts any kind of connections. I had to email them, and they suggested this one. They said this one works the best. They've had the least errors, the least problems ever since they've been suggesting it. So I'll put the link in the description. It's called VP. You'll see it here in a second. I'll show it to you on the camera, and then I'll get into the app and I'll plug it in. I'll kind of show you kind of some steps how to log in, how to pair it. You know, it's pretty easy. It's just like pairing any kind of Bluetooth stereo headphones or Bluetooth audio options, or your car to your Bluetooth. It's really easy. It finds it pretty quickly. You connect to it, pairs it right away. So hope you guys join me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like the content. Hit the like button. Leave comments below if I left anything out, or if you guys had any ideas that I forgot to mention. If you appreciate it, just leave a comment. Either ways, let's head over to the car right now and see what we can conjure up here. Do not turn the car on. Don't run it when you use the app. It's just gonna plug it in the OBD2 port underneath here, and let me grab the unit. This is it right here, the V-Peak. Hopefully you guys can see that. This is the unit right here. If it zooms in on the model. Right there, that's it right there. So yeah, I'll put the link in the description so you guys can connect right to it. Let me, give me a second. I'm gonna connect this down here to the OBD2, so I'll be right back. All right guys, here's the app. There's these three little buttons on the top right. You want to press that. Go into settings. You want to go into settings, and in settings, you have your adapter. You choose the option of what kind of adapter it is. So you're gonna need the Bluetooth one. It's the one that's gonna work the most. So once you have that setting set in there, you want to go back, and then you want to hit connect. So I will select it, and I will hit OK. It's connecting terminal status. It's just loading all of them. So here you go. We'll go inside active sound, and I'll show you how simple it is once it goes inside of one of the modules. So once it's in there, that's the option. Active sound design, deactivation. It's an unassigned value. You can go in expert mode, and in expert mode it gives you a warning, but in expert mode you can actually go inside the entire module itself, and you can change more. There's more options in here. Don't mess with this if you don't know what you're doing. If you have no idea what some of this is, I don't suggest playing with any of that, because you can screw that up and you can mess it up badly. I don't have active sound deactivated in my car. It's not something that bothers me, so I don't have it deactivated. Mine says unassigned value. I could deactivate it. If you see on the right side here next to the dots, it says code. That will highlight. That code will highlight. Once that's highlighted, you press it, and you just let the bar go by, and it'll recode everything, and then you can go back, and you'll be back at this screen again. Advanced crash module. All right, here we go. We're back here, and as like I said, these are all your seatbelt indicators and warnings, and seatbelt reminders, and the speed when it goes off. If these annoy you and they bug you, having your seatbelt warning on the dash, or the car dinging at you, passenger doesn't have your seat, doesn't put their seatbelt on, the car's constantly ding, 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 it's annoying to me. So obviously I turned a lot of those off. I still have the visual seatbelt indicator. I just don't have the actual sound. So if they don't put their seatbelt in the passenger seat, I still see it in the dash. It's not as annoying that way. At least I can see it. I don't hear the ding. Works easier that way. And then there's a duration right here, seatbelt reminder duration. It's how long you want it to keep dinging at you. So if you want it to ding, you just don't want it to do it forever, you can actually set the time in there. So, you can say, oh, for 10 seconds, whatever, 90 seconds, 30 seconds. I have unassigned value because it doesn't matter. I have it off, so I don't have a timer. And then it has a seatbelt reminder distance too. So if you don't want to do the reminder and duration, you can actually change the distance. It's how far kind of drive off and it still dings. If you drive, further than 200 meters, it'll stop. So those are the options you can set there. Your seatbelt reminder speed. When you drive away at 10 kilometers an hour, it goes. These are in kilometers an hour, yes. That's how it's set. I don't think there's a way to change this. Maybe there is. I didn't ever messed with it. So either way, you can change that. Like if you're going 50 kilometers an hour, it'll start dinging at you again. Obviously, mine won't ding at all for any reason because I have it completely turned off. And your initial seatbelt reminder after start. Mine's not active because I don't want it dinging whatsoever. When I get in the car, I don't need that. I just want the visual. Visual is good enough. As you can see, that's the seatbelt indicator, driver seat active right there. So that's the only one I need active. That's the only one I have assigned as active. But the initial seatbelt down here on the bottom, which is this one here, you can activate it or deactivate it just right there. So mine is not active, so it won't ding. That's the initial ding when you get in the car. So of course, one of your main ones, you're probably not going to go so much in camera-based driver assistance system, but I'll open it up for you guys so you can see what it basically does. And I'll go through most of these here so you can see the main ones. The ones that people are going to mess with mostly are good. The next one after this is going to be the one that most people are going to go in. Also the head unit as well. So those are the two that you find majority of the stuff that people want coded in their car. Now, if you're local and you're watching this video, by all means, if you see me out hanging out, we're at a car meet or we're somewhere and you got a BMW, I always have my unit with me and I'm happy to code your car. There is absolutely no fee at all. You don't have to, I don't charge at all whatsoever to code your car. It's really simple. You guys can buy this app. It's $40. You can get it on the Google Play Store, or I believe you can do it with iPhone as well too. I think it's the same money. So, so you can do it yourself. Buy the Bluetooth unit. Link will be in the description. Just buy that unit and you'll be set, man. Buy it on Amazon. It's quick, delivers in a couple days, and you'll be ready to go in no time. You can help friends out. It's easy. Just makes it simple. So these are options for camera based. So you have your speed limit info, road sign. I do have the speed limit info. It's country specific, so you don't want to mess with this at all. Leave that. Don't mess with that at all because it'll probably screw some stuff up because you don't want the speeds to be messed up. And road edge warning. This is, I guess this turns your cameras on. I have no idea what this does. I haven't messed with it. I'm gonna have to look this one up. I've never messed with this one. There's been some updates and I don't remember ever seeing this. Enable, disable the road edge warning of the lane departure warning. Okay. So I guess this is, I don't have lane departure, so I don't have blind spot. I don't need that. I make sure my mirrors are where they're supposed to be, so I don't have a blind spot. This is like the main one, your FEM module, which is your front electronic module. There's a lot of options in this one that control things. Now there's going to be options in here that I have an 18 M3, so I believe the lighting is in this section. So I can't mess with my lighting in here. I have to VO code lighting, which is hard code. And I don't think in the 18s, I think there's issues with messing with the new LEDs. So, it causes problems. And that's if you want the European anti-dazzling headlights. If you have the option for the automatic high beams, you can code that in. Now, if you have an older version of the headlight, the previous style of headlight, you can still code that stuff in, and you can't code it through here though. You can't mess with the headlights in here. You have to use a laptop. You have to use the software that you can get. It's free online. You can go, there's plenty of guys in Bimmercode that will share the link for you so you can download it. You can get all the lights coded that way. It's VO coding. So you have to actually put the modules in there, and you have to code, you have to do a lot more basically, and I'm not sure 100% how to explain it. I kind of know how to do it if I visually do it, but just voice explaining, it's a little different. Here you go. So there's a lot of options in here. You have your ambient lighting. You can control the lighting in here. You can separate the cluster knob which I'll switch here. That's your cluster knob right here next to your lighting. You can change that and separate it from your ambient lighting in the car. So you can do, obviously, this is where see the angel eyes? This is for older models. Now you can change these to 100%. Mine show 100%. I've never messed with this, so it doesn't do anything for me because, you know, when I turn my lights on, my LED rings, they dim like normal. But you can have them full bright with your headlights on. So, and you can do them, see where it says angel eyes brightness and parking lights. Your audio, iDrive system, I always make sure this is active. iDrive system shuts off when I open up the door. I don't need to press the button twice, so that's a great option. Auto stop function, it's always off when I start the car. It's never on no matter what. You know, you can change that in any model, which is nice because there are some cars where it doesn't memorize your last setting. So auto stop function memory. That's what you want. Make sure that's active so it always remembers that first option. Have your auto stop function in eco mode. It's active. Now you have your brake force display. Now I have flashing. You have options. You have an enlarged area when you slash on your brakes. This gives you like an F1 style. It flashes and then it goes solid. So it only flashes and you determine how many times you want it to flash before it goes solid. You can do an area enlargement. It just turns on all the brake lights at once when you slam on your brakes with a certain amount of pressure. So you can see brake force lighting display activation speed. I have it at the slowest speed. I always want it blinking no matter what. 5 kilometers an hour, if I press it, it's going to pretty much start blinking. And then brake force display activation brake force. I have it on weak. You can put it medium or hard, braking, however you want. It's your preference, which is nice, so you can change the way you want. I do weak braking because I always want it flashing. And ever since I've done that a long time ago, I've noticed people do brake sooner behind me. It just helps. It's just a safety thing. Now here's where a lot of people always ask me. This is one of the big ones: comfort opening and closing. This one here is how you set, you know, the remote opening, because you can't. Not every car has this option. Standard on the M3s, some of it's already active and some of it's not. You can't automatically roll the windows down with comfort access, but you can change that setting in here. So that's what comfort opening, comfort closing with comfort access, and then comfort closing start delay. I have no delay. So as soon as I lock my car, everything works. Daytime running lights. I have active always with parking lights. That's set that way, and they're always bright. It's set that way. I've never messed with that on my car because, again, with the new headlight system, you can't play with that option. Your start engine without clutch, there's no way. I'm going to use the clutch to start the car. Your headlight cleaning, that's for older models. That's not on any more of the newer BMWs. Headlight cleaning is gone. Your indicator, how many times you want it to flash when you're locking the car, you can change those options. Your lighting, this only works on the older headlights. Can't mess with the newer headlight styling at all. And that's any model. It has to be older model. Any model has any of the newer headlights. You can't mess with a lot of these things. There's no side markers. None of these things change. So, but if you have the older style, 15 or 16 M3 or 3 Series or X5, whatever it is, these are actually options in there, and you can actually turn on and off the position lights on the side when your lights are on. So you can go through those options as well too. High beams. Obviously, M cars don't have fog lights. I'm not even sure why there's an option in here at all. But I think that there's like something you can do for a fog light in this car. I'm not sure. I think there's still like next to the lighting buttons, you can mod something to get it. Here's all the mirror options. You can obviously get them to fold when you lock the car, unlock the car, all that stuff. You can, and then there's a speed threshold, like how fast you want them to automatically open. If they are, I don't know, didn't open, but obviously if you have them folding and unfolding, they're always going to be folded or unfolded when you drive away. So the speed threshold kind of doesn't really make a difference. And your automatic mirror tilt, that's when you go in reverse. Your right mirror goes down, and your automatic tilt value, that's the percentage. The percentage, you can change that, and obviously you can make it go, you know, further down 100%, but you'll be looking straight down the ground. It's a bit much. I've played with it before, and it's too much. Actually, the 70%, I should probably do it a little bit less. I think the 70% almost overdoes it. I have a manual, so steering wheel with paddles. It doesn't affect me. So and then you can change all your seat heating adjustments if you like your seat to be hotter. Tailgate, I like this one. I got rid of the delay and opening up my trunk with my key. There's no delay, so I can just press the button. It pretty much opens my trunk right up. I open it with my key, so I don't have to hold it for, you know, a couple seconds. It goes all the way up to 10 seconds. That's absolutely crazy. I don't know if anybody wants to hold their key button for the trunk for 10 seconds waiting for it to open. That would drive me nuts. I think by default it's set for 1 second. I believe that's where it's set at, is by 1 second. I could be wrong. Leave a comment in the section below if you start coding your car and you remember this option, for everybody to know. I'm not 100%. I don't remember. I've had this set since I got the car over a year ago. So, and then you can mess with voltage monitoring with your headlights. This doesn't work whatsoever, I believe, with the new headlight system. So I'm not 100% sure why any of these options they show, but they do. Welcome lights I did play with a little bit. You can make sure all your lights come on, the duration of them. Welcome lights duration, I have it set at 30 seconds, which is great. That's enough time, you know, if you like, if it's dark out, they'll turn on, you know, most of your lights will stay on for about 30 seconds, so you can see what you're doing. Welcome light in darkness only. Nope, I put not active because I have it come on even in the daytime. That way I can easily find my car. And I chose soft on for some options. You could do hard on, which is like a hard, you know, they come on like quick. I believe that's the difference. Soft on is kind of like they dim brighter, you know, that's what they do. Side marker, this was set. I don't have the side markers lights because the LED headlights are different. You have older style lights. I think that affects you. I haven't messed with that. Window cleaning. Oh, that's your windshield washer. I don't know what this rear wiper in reverse. Not sure why that even shows. There's obviously no rear wiper in here. Your windows talks about your horn sounding when you have your key. You know, when you have your key in the car, or you have your car running. You get out and you lock the car. It sounds the horn. I like that option. Prefer it. Window lifter interruption when opening door. This is a great one. I don't know if you guys have even noticed that window lifting interruption. If you automatically roll your window up in the driver window, it only works for the driver's window, by the way. If you open it up and you open the door, it will automatically stop. You have to manually close your window if the door opens. This cancels that. It's a great option. I 100% suggest getting, because you open the door, window fully goes up. It's no big deal. It works great. Unlock doors automatically. This is a great option. As soon as you park, turn off the car, the door for the driver unlocks. You can get right out. So it's no big deal. I think it works a little bit differently in some other cars. I think it gives you the option to, I think, unlock all doors and stuff. And if you have some newer models, if you're watching this, like the new 5 Series, new 7 Series, I think the new X5, there's an option in the iDrive now to change how those doors work. So you can go in there as well too. Head unit, this is going to be where you actually go in and mess with your iDrive. You know, through your navigation, your communication, all your media stuff, you know, all the menu options you've got, all that stuff is in there. As you can see, it doesn't show as many options as the other one just previously did, but you have a lot here. So your audio, this isn't your radio. This is your warning chimes. And your warning chimes, you can actually change if you want a different sound for all your chimes. You know, mine shows an unassigned value. It's because it's just a default setting. Your ringtone is the BMW, obviously your Bluetooth rings. You can do it to your smartphone, Mini or BMW i. In the i, cars make a different sound. And maximum volume at startup, obviously that's the volume of the ringer. You can change that as well too. Your daytime running lights, obviously you want them active. You want your daytime running lights on. Now this is your animations you can change. That's the animation in the iDrive. When you first start the car, if you've ever noticed, there's an animation that starts. If you're in it when you're starting, you notice an animation will pop up. Mine obviously shows M, that's on here. And volume pop up. That's actually an option you get in older models. There's, you know, when you turn the volume up, you don't have a volume pop up. You don't even know what volume you're at. You can actually activate that so you have it. By default, M cars have temperature and pressure already, so that you don't have to play with it in an M car. But regular 3 Series, X5, if you want both options, not just the pressure, you can change that. Rear view camera zoom, I don't want my rear view camera to zoom. It sees plenty fine. Our cameras in these cars are way better than majority of cars in the market. The camera screen is like high res. It looks beautiful. Other manufacturers are just starting to catch up. So display full text messages. I have that unassigned value. Can make it active, but I don't want text messages displaying on my screen. I don't care if I have people in the car. I want my text messages popping up on my iDrive. Sport displays, you can make those active. They're active, I believe, in pretty much every car. I'm not really sure or you can deactivate them, but you can change the style of them. I made mine red. You can make them orange, however you want. There's 2 styles. You can change the video through USB, video in motion. I think there's a few steps you got to go through when you're messing with that. And then you have your warnings on startup. You can turn all these off. Those are disclaimers in the iDrive. When you first start up, there's disclaimers in that iDrive system. You can stop them, deactivate them, camera warning. All those warnings are done, so you don't worry about it. Now, this is the unit you can go into expert mode. Now, in expert mode, you want to go into, as you can see here, there's a few options here. Now, you can go in the first one, 3000 HMI. Now, when you're inside this, you want to go to search, and in search you want to type in high end. You could just type in HIGH. See these options that come in? You want to go to high end audio menu. Now this is if you guys have Harman Kardon in your car. If you don't have a Harman Kardon, you can still go to this. I don't believe it changes your audio because you don't have the digital sound processor. But if you have Harman Kardon in your car, you can upgrade it to get Bang & Olufsen. And now these options are all different. By default, I believe it's the second one is the option, or maybe the first one. I don't remember now. But the bottom one here that I have selected, Vol-Ins. Anyway, that upgrades your audio sound processor. You can, as soon as you activate that, you say OK. Yeah, I'm going to hit cancel because mine's already active. You hit OK, and then you want to go back, and then right here you'll have code highlighted. Obviously, also after you've done all the other changes as well too that you've changed in there, you hit code, let it do its thing, and then you'll go back to the main screen, and then you'll have everything coded. And most of these things down here in the bottom, you can go through. Some of them you might mess with some things. Some things you can, like your instrument cluster. Some of you guys, this might be a good option for. With M cars, most of this stuff is activated by default. This is the instrument cluster here. We already have digital speed on board. Mine shows not active, but digital speed is because it's already active in our car. Date in board computer, that's the date. It already displays up there. It shows active because it's already displays up there. Now, you can change your performance logo. You can activate that. You can do specific logos. I'm not sure. In some cars, I don't recommend messing with this because even if you have the full, at least the full display, like the M cars here, I'll show you here, guys. The M car has the full across display underneath the analog. Goes from the M all the way. So you see where my neutral and the sport, that's all digital. If you have that bottom piece, that's what this changes. It changes. Now for M cars, it doesn't do anything for us. It doesn't affect anything. But if you have a non-M car, where you go 3 Series, 2 Series, and you have that full display, you can actually put a logo in there, but it doesn't show correctly. I've tried it on friends' car. I haven't tried it recently. This was maybe about a little over a year ago. I tried it on a buddy's 340, and it displayed bad. It didn't display correctly. I'm not really sure, but either way, startup logo, you can actually change this. This works on anybody's car. You know, you can see you have M Performance. I was an M car. You can change to M3, M2, M4. Those are the same thing as M Performance. I've never seen it different. And they do have M4 GTS. I actually had that selected in my old M4. It would actually show M4 GTS when it started up. It worked pretty cool. But either way, I kept it on M Performance. I didn't really change it. I don't really need to change it. It's unimportant. You can change your fuel consumption values, which is kind of cool. If you understand liters and your kilometers versus miles and gallons, you can just change the when you want it to warn you. And then, of course, driving modes. This is Enable Sport Plus driving mode. Please note Sport Plus driving mode. 1 of 2 in the integration. Chassis management, ECU. I haven't messed with any of this. This must be new. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. And your low fuel warning 1, 30 miles, 50 miles. I can change that option as well too. So, you know, the display is when it displays on the dash. The warning is when it gives you that ding. You know, it interrupts that little ding you hear in the car. You can change the distance. Right now it's set. My low fuel warning 1 is the lowest one, and then my fuel 2, it says 50. I thought it was like 46, but see, it puts it in miles, even though it shows the kilometers on the screen. So you can change that as well too. I don't change it. I don't go in expert mode in this one. I don't believe there's anything to change in expert mode, so I don't mess with it. The rest of these, you guys can go through. I think that has to do with lighting. Let's go in there. Let's see. So, hey guys, don't forget to shopexhaustnote.com. Help support the channel. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, see if you can sport some of my gear. I'd love to see some guys out and about with some Exhaust Note shirts. I appreciate everyone that's already bought some, and I appreciate you guys do purchase those. I'd love to see some more people locally buying too as well. It'd be great to see some Exhaust Note merch out there in public. These are your brake force display flashing frequency. Oh, that's, yeah, I guess you need to go in here to determine how many times when you turned on that brake force lighting, you want to go back in here. This determines times per second. You know, you want 5 times per second. So that determines when you're slamming the brakes, how many times it blinks in the back. So yeah, you do want to go in here. And I guess I forgot about this option here. It's been a while since I coded some of these out. Your park distance control, that's your threshold for, you know, the park distance control, like how far. I left it as it is. It's actually perfect. You don't want this thing going off any further at all. I mean, it's in the speed that it's set at. All that's just fine. You know, you don't. Obviously, if you're going in the wall at 50 miles an hour, your park distance control is not going to matter because you're going to smash into the wall. There's no way you're braking. But 15 kilometers an hour, you know, that's slow enough. So you'll be able to brake. It's going to warn for you. The distance itself, where the threshold is, as you can see, it gives you in meters and stuff. So, and then when rolling backwards, you can activate park distance control. Rolling backwards, you can. I actually don't have it active because, you know, I don't know why I don't have it active. I don't really need it. I mean, I never really am rolling backwards, but if I'm going in reverse, my camera's on anyway. But anyway, your rear view camera speed, switch off. You can change the speed when you drive away after your camera's on. I leave the value set the way it is. My rear view camera doesn't need to be on forever. There's some people who drive with it who will turn it on and drive with it active. They'll you know, it's always on. Like you turn it on at any time. I got front and rear dash cams, so if I ever want to see something that was behind me, I could pull it up on my phone. So no worries there. Voltage monitoring, I don't mess with any of this. This is your lights, I guess the temperature of lights. I don't mess with any of that. And then of course that was your seat modular. It hasn't shut off yet. I've had power all this time. All this time we've been working. So, and the seatbelt difference does change. So it says seat heating cooling setting memory. So I guess 15 minutes, 24 hours do not save, unlimited. That's the only option it gives you. I believe in expert mode. Yeah, it's somewhere in expert mode, and I'm not 100% where. That you might have to find online. Don't forget, once you set the settings, to always hit that code button when you're done. That's your disconnect. Once you go back, let me cancel that out real quick. Once you're all done coding out and you've hit code every time, it codes it out. Once you're done, you're back in the screen, you've gone through all your modules, you're good to go. You go back. Once you go back, you disconnect. That's it. It's done. That's it. You're all coded up. You're good to go. You turn off your car. I would actually highly recommend turn off your car, start it, make sure nothing errors, unplug your OBD2. Make sure, don't forget, some of you guys have stuff plugged in that OBD2, have any mods and stuff, or JB4 or whatever you have, you know, whatever you got on yours, you know, you might have something plugged in on there. Make sure you just plug that back in once you unplug that OBD2 port. Turn off your car, start it up, make sure all the stuff works. You want to make sure it coded it in. Make sure your car starts. You don't get any error warnings too. That could be important. If you did, actually leave a comment below. Maybe I can help you out, or in Bimmercode, a lot of guys can help you out in there as well too. If you get an error, I've never had an error after coding somebody's car. It's worked 100 on 100 every time. So never had an error. And just make sure, you know, get out your car, lock your car, make sure your mirrors fold. If they don't fold, you might have forgot to change the setting for how long it lasts, like how long you have to hold it to lock it. And then this actually happens to a lot of regular 3 Series owners. That I've had an issue with that, where it doesn't, the time value for the mirrors folding, it's like you have to kind of lock it and hold it for about a second. And if you just lock it once, it locks the car, and the mirrors don't fold. If you hold it for about a half second or a second, it'll fold the mirrors. So, and then your windows up, down with the remote work. You just unlock the car once, unlock it a second time, you hold it, and then your windows will all go down. Sunroof will open as well too if you have a sunroof. Obviously I got carbon fiber roof, so it doesn't open for me. And when you lock the car, hold it, it'll roll windows all the way up. You can also use your comfort access if you have that option on your car. just hold the comfort access lock button, it'll roll the windows up too. A lot of people don't realize that. You can't roll the windows down by putting your hand in the handle. That doesn't work. You gotta unlock it you gotta do it with the key. I use this option like 9 out of 10 times I'm using it, because when I get out somewhere, in the mall, or I'm shopping at Publix, or go to the gym, it's nice outside. I've been in the gym, you know, an hour or 2 hours, however long I've been there. Been shopping, spent about an hour. It's Florida. The car's like 300 degrees when you get back out. I know we have the option to do ventilation, but I just unlock twice, open it up before I get to the car. Windows roll down. I don't roll them down all the way sometimes. Sometimes I do. Let it go down so that way the car cools off. You can use those options. Let me know in the comments if you have any problems. I'll try to help the best I can. Maybe other people as well watching the video will be able to help as well. This is kind of a nice community video, so everybody help each other out. Share the video, share the content. I'll make sure it's posted on a lot of BMW areas, Facebook pages, Beamer posts, so everybody can watch. Appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget that subscribe button, hit that like button, and shopexhaustnote.com. Again, Johnny Rodriguez, this is Exhaust Note, and I appreciate all you guys. I'll see you again soon.